Hi, everyone. Welcome back to our third and final segment of the day. Woo, we made it. We are going to have ourselves a little NHRA countdown to the championship special.
Woo.
If you saw our first two episodes, then you know that we had talked about how IMSA and IndyCar are getting ready to end their seasons. They have one race left. The NHRA is not the same. They just finished their regular season at Indy, and now they're going into their 6th race countdown to the championship.
Bam, bam, bam.
Amazing that we did that at the same time. Beautiful. So yeah, they just had their biggest race of the year at Indianapolis, the Big Go. This was actually the biggest go by the numbers. I can tell you what we had. Oh, actually, I have a whole comprehensive breakdown of what happened at Indy over on Shifting Lanes. And I finally, because I say this all the time, but I finally made a command for it.
Amazing.
So you can check out all of my written work over there on Shifting Lanes. And there's a lot of other great writers doing cool shit over there, so check it out. So this, like I said, was the biggest go. There were a total of 942 cars entered. 83 of those were entered into the pro categories, and that is across 19 classes total. There was a cap of like 800 and something that could run, so almost, you know,
yeah,
1,000 people showed up for 800 spots.
That's a lot.
Which is a lot. But that really pushed the performance level up. Everybody was like, we got to get it, and we got to get it right, which made for some really cool stuff. Brittany Force reset the track record at Indianapolis Raceway Park. She went 364 at 377, and she was 299 miles an hour in the 8th mile, which is insane. That's insanely fast. Like,
speed.
David Grubnick and Max Savage have that car tuned. So good. But what all those cars entering also did was it created the quickest top fuel field ever. The quickest 16 entered. The bump spot was 375.8, which is very fast. So 375 to, like, if you just run a 75, you're like, damn, okay, pretty good. But that to be like the bump spot to get in, you have to at least run that. Girl. So there were, I had talked about this also over on Shifting Lanes. There were specialty races that took place. One that I did a preview for was the Dodge Hemi Challenge, and the winner of that, Stephen Camella, was last year's winner, so he was able to defend his title. And I know that class is actually like really tight, so it's always cool to see guys like go back to back. But that is the longest continuous specialty race at an NHRA event. They've been doing that for 21 years.
Wow.
Yeah. They also had the JEGS All-Star Race, which typically has been run in Chicago, but that was off the calendar, which was unfortunate. So they ran it here at Indy, and the overall team win, like the team title, went to Northeast Division 1, which you have me over here crying in Division 6. Like, next year, seriously, all my D6 friends and just everybody who's anyone in Division 6, put me in a car next year. I'm ready to hurt some feelings. Like, let's bring back the glory and the majesty to D6. Like, we have some epic racers over here. Like, we got to gain some more points, and we got to, like, beat everybody because people make fun of us. But yeah, let's freaking go. D6 for the win.
Nice.
Not sorry.
Not sorry.
And then they had the Top Fuel and Funny Car Pep Boys All-Star Call-Out races.
Mm-hmm.
The Top Fuel one was supposed to be run like 5 months ago in Gainesville, but that
Yeah.
was the weekend where it rained all weekend and they only got one qualifying session and they couldn't do anything else. So they ran it at Indy and Steve Torrance won that. And for that, you get like a hat, a cool trophy, and $80,000.
Fancy.
And then on the funny car side, Ron Capps won. And yeah, that kind of, I feel like, helped push Ron specifically. Like, Dean Antonelli and John Medlin had that car really, really tuned up.
Mm-hmm.
He was #1 qualifier. He won the specialty race, and then he went and he won the whole thing, which was his first time ever, after like 20 plus years of trying, first time ever winning Indy. And if you think I didn't cry, girl, I cried. Like, there's just some people, like, you want them because they're such genuinely good people that you meet in the sport, and you kind of like get to know them over the years, and you have mutual friends and all that stuff. But Ron is one of the good ones. To see him finally get it, it was just like a wall of emotion. I definitely teared up. Oh my god. Excuse me.
Good job.
And then we had Antron Brown that won in Top Fuel, and then Matt Smith won in Pro Stock Bikes, but then Greg Anderson, he won in Pro Stock, and I was like so pumped for him because also Greg is really one of the good guys, but he's been chasing a win all season because this win was his 100th career win.
Yeah.
And that's like such a huge number, and he's been a champion and all this stuff, but to see him like finally like conquer the mountain and get to 100, it's so cool. He's so nice. So yeah, that was also like a little emotional. Not as much as Ron, but there was definitely like, oh, like, am happy for you. So what we have, too many things over here now. Now that we are, first half of the season, the regular season is done. Everyone that's in the countdown, everyone that's fighting for a championship is locked in. Like, you're in your spots. Like, you can move up and down, but everybody that's going to be there is in. There are 6 races left, starting the weekend of September 18th. They're going to go to Pennsylvania. That's their first one. I think this is the race. I feel like it's here. I don't think it was Ohio. I think it's Pennsylvania. But the track is like built. There's like some hills and stuff around it, but it's built near Amish country. So like there will be like Amish people that come and sit on the hills outside the track and like watch racing.
Love
which
that.
They always show it on the broadcast. It's so cool. I'm like, see, this is fun. Everybody gets involved in drag racing. But also, like, can you imagine being Amish and then hearing these 11,000 horsepower monsters?
Be a bit much. You'd be like, it would definitely catch your attention.
What is this? Like, you'd have to go see what it is.
Yes.
But every time in the past when I've seen them, they always look like they're having the best time. So I think it's cool. And then from Pennsylvania, we go to North Carolina. And we go to North Carolina and Vegas twice a year. The first time is always 4 wide, and then the second time is just regular, like 2 wide. And then after that, they're at Worldwide Technology Raceway in Illinois. And then they go to Texas so they go to Dallas, which can you imagine if we sent Gil to Texas to be our like sideline reporter? He would be like, what the fuck is this? He would immediately leave.
Yes, he would.
He'd be like, I'm driving to Dallas. And then he would just leave. So they are part of a weekend called Stampede of Speed, which is like my favorite name of anything ever. It's so Texas. But they close out the event. It's like a week long. Is it a week? No, it's longer than that. It's like a 2-week event where they do like different races and have different like series come, and it's like a really fun thing. And then NHRA closes it out. But Dallas, Stampede of Speed, and then they go back to Vegas, and they are always in Vegas around Halloween. And it's always cool to see like the teams on one of the days will dress up, and they always have like trick-or-treating for kids in the pits.
Fun. Love that.
Which I think is fun, and you'll see little kids running around in costumes. It's super cute. And then November 13th, NHRA Finals, Pomona, California.
Bam, 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 bam.
Someone's going to be a champion. And you know what? We're going to make predictions on
Prediction!
So, we have our 2022 winners list. I'm going to go by category because we're going to do all 4.
Okay.
So, I'm going to start with Top Fuel.
Okay.
We've had Justin Ashley, Mike Salinas, Trip Tatum, who was kind of an outlier, but because he doesn't race a full year. Brittany Force again, Mike Salinas. You're going to hear a lot of repeats. Brittany Force, Mike Salinas, Justin Ashley, Mike Salinas again, Leah Pruitt, Brittany Force, Tony Schumacher, Antron Brown, Steve Torrance, Antron Brown. So, they're not like exactly updated the way I would like it, but we're still gonna. So this is the top 10. I had left Clay Millican up here because I'm not sure if this year they were doing the courtesy spot. I think they did, which they introduced it last year. It was a courtesy spot, which meant, because normally it's just the top 10 and that's it, but number 11 could compete for the championship if it was like a thing where if you showed up to every race, if you took part in like every qualifying session, then you could run for a championship as well. But I want to mention just, oh my god, it's happening to me. Clay Millican for a second, because he had a really cool announcement leading up to Indy. His team was purchased by, it was like Stinger Motorsports, I think. They were purchased by Rick Ware Racing. And Rick Ware has a huge presence in motorsports. He has Cody Ware in NASCAR. He has Takuma Sato that he sponsors in IndyCar. And then he has the purple Acura NSX that we talked about earlier with Aiden Reed and Ryan Eversley in IMSA. And now he has Clay Millican in drag racing. And people have been saying for a long time, I've seen people tweet him and like the team and stuff and say that he should get involved in drag racing. And him teaming up with Clay is like perfect. It's like Rick and Lisa and Clay are just both, or they're all just like really genuinely like good and like nice people. So it's really cool to see, like, that's like a fantastic combo in my opinion. And I think this is going to do good things to help Clay moving forward. So yeah. So based on what you see and what you've heard, who do you think is going to walk away with the championship this year?
I'm gonna have to go with Brittany.
Okay.
Women in STEM, even though it's not STEM.
So Brittany she already has a championship under her belt. She was the 2017 champion, which I love. We stan.
Love that.
I think, what do I think? I always, ever since 2006, when the run happened, for those that don't know, you can actually look it up on YouTube to like see like actually what took place, because I didn't like pre-link this or think about it beforehand. But in 2006, I believe, the run happened. And basically what it was Doug Coletta was going to win. the championship. And Tony Schumacher was in second place right behind him. And for him to overtake Doug and win this championship, he had to run a specific number and like to get like the extra points for running like the fastest.
Yeah.
And it happened. And he stole that championship right out from under him, and it was like, holy shit. And it was just like one of the craziest, it for me ranks in my top 10 of like craziest moments in drag racing still.
Yeah.
But since then, I always just want to see Doug Coletta win a championship because it's been 20 plus years he's been in the sport and he's come so close and he's never won. So I always want to see him win. So he's like my secret, like always, like my pick for someone I want to win. But I actually think that Brittany's going to win.
Hell
just because David Grubnick and Max Savage have that car so tuned up, and she's driving like an animal. She's so freaking good. Okay. We're going to move over to Funny Cars.
Funny Car.
So, winners this season. You're going to hear a lot of repeats. Robert Wait. My voice is going away. It's making me cough. I apologize. Robert Hight, Matt Hagan, Ron Capps, Matt Hagan, John Force, Robert Hight, Matt Hagan, Ron Capps, Robert Hight again, Bob Tasca, Robert Hight, Bob Tasca, Ron Capps. The top, like, three or four in the beginning of the season, I guess it's like, it's still kind of the same, were really, really, really close this entire year. They've just been going, like, battling back and forth, and honestly, as like a drag racing fan, that's what you want to see.
Right,
like the top, like the best in the sport, just like slugging it out.
Yes.
Everyone has like the top. They're really just at the top of the line with performance right now. It's incredible.
Love to see it.
You do.
I think I'm gonna go for Ron Capps.
Oh my god. It's like you're in my brain.
We're choosing the same people every time. Oh no.
I don't think we will when it comes to Pro Stock.
Fair.
Yeah, no, I have to pick Ron. He is the reigning Funny Car champion. And he's like my fave. So my pick is strictly just like, I want to see my friend win again. But I also think that just the way, like I said, that Guido and John Medlin have that car, like they're just jiving right now.
Yeah.
But like I said, the top four guys are really just like in a battle every week.
Yeah.
Okay, I did not ask for that. Random pop-up. Pro Stock Cars. This pop-up. Stop. Right. They haven't run all the races. Pro Stock Cars and Pro Stock Motorcycles don't run like all the races. They have a different, slightly less schedule. But Pro Stock Cars, we've had Erica Enders, Aaron Stanfield, Dallas Glenn, Erica, Aaron, Erica again, Matt Hartford. Basically, we went through a period where, like, every single weekend, the final round was Erica and Aaron Stanfield. Erica again, Troy Coughlin Jr., and Greg Anderson. And I want to say the Troy Coughlin, he obviously comes from, like, his family. The Coughlins are huge in Pro Stock and just kind of, like, sportsman racing.
Yeah.
His uncle, like, he's sponsored by Jegs, and that's, like, a family name. Like, his uncle, his grandpa, like, they're all named Jag. And his uncle Jag was a force in Pro Stock for so many years. Like, I saw him almost roll a car once in Seattle.
Amazing.
He didn't. He saved it, but
That's good.
he got up on those two wheels on the side. And everyone was like, "Ugh." But yeah, his win in Seattle, Troy's, was his first career win, which was really exciting. And then he went like back to back in his first 2 wins, and that's pretty special.
Yeah.
So yeah. Can I make my pick first this time?
Yes, go for it.
I'm picking Greg Anderson. Just because I know I've seen him win championships. I know what he can do once he like gets in that groove.
That's
and
fair.
I feel like he's in it.
That's a good prediction. I'm gonna go with Erica for obvious reasons.
I figured you were going to.
1, women in STEM, and 2, because her film When I Was a Child was a masterpiece. It was immaculate. I loved it.
Right on track.
Yep.
It was the best movie. Yeah. I always, when I think back on it, I do have good memories because I watched it when it came out. Like, I watched it, I think, with my parents, and I watched it with my friends. And my friends were like, "Oh my God, like, what is this?" And I was just like, "Welcome to drag racing."
I remember blatantly as a child when I watched it. I was like, oh, wow, I could do that. And then I did.
You still could.
I still could, but my childhood brain is no longer there. So,
well, I could get you in to sportsman racing, and we could tune you up something nice. You don't got to go super fast. We can find you a category you're comfortable in.
I would like to go 3 miles per hour.
They have classes for that.
That's so slow.
Just put you on a snowmobile. They have snowmobile racing. It can be kind of fast, but they do have snowmobile racing.
I don't like the snow that much, though.
It's not on snow.
Wait.
Snowmobiles on a racetrack.
Why would you?
They replaced the tracks as like a whole thing.
Okay.
But it's like how they have like the motorcycles and that they've extended it to snowmobiles.
Yeah.
I've witnessed it.
Okay.
It's a whole thing.
Okay.
And speaking of, we're gonna go to Pro Stock Bikes.
Yay!
They have such a random schedule. I gotta like search. Karen Stouffer, Steve Johnson. There's a loud truck outside.
Love that.
Karen Stouffer, Steve Johnson, Matt Smith, Jerry Savoy, Angel Sampé, Matt Smith, Joey Gladstone, Joey again, and Matt Smith.
Love that. Do you want to go first again?
You can go. I don't know who I'm picking. I'll look.
I'm going to choose Joey.
Okay.
Because he shares a name with the character in Full House.
That he does.
That's my only reason.
All right. It's as good a reason as any. I'm going to pick Eddie. Just because I want to pick Angel, but I feel like Eddie is having I feel like he's a little bit steadier on his bike. Like he is more used. I don't want to say he's more used to it, but like I feel like because she took a long period of time away from drag racing, like because she dominated.
Yeah.
Angel did for so many years. Then she took time off to get married and raise a family and all that, and then she wanted to come back. But in that time, it was, Vance and Hines, and then Eddie and Andrew, and they just dominated everything. And I feel like Eddie can still maybe get it back. That's like my one like wild card pick. But yeah. This one we're going to have to wait the longest for.
Yeah.
Come back in November to see if we were right.
Just a bit.
But yeah, I like how we had some variation in our Pro Stock picks.
I agree.
Add this to the official pile of sticky notes.
Official pile. And then at the end, we will tally up who correctly guessed the most.
Mm-hmm.
And that person gets bragging rights for the rest of the year.
Yes. I hadn't thought about any of that, but yes, we can do that. Imagine if we're just both all the way wrong.
I mean, it's possible. That's for sure.
It is. I don't know how likely it's going to be that we messed up the nitro ones. I mean, anything could happen.
True.
But anything can just happen.
Exactly. You never know.
Yeah. I mean, 6 races is a lot, especially for this sport. Like, drag racing is a lot of the time kind of not, I mean, it is, but it isn't. Like, there's obviously a lot that goes into it, but sometimes it's like a right place, right time kind of sport.
Yep.
Like, it's just the guy that was the best in this moment.
Exactly.
You know? But yeah, I think we've made some solid predictions all day.
I agree.
Yeah. And I think I kind of expected it to be like 17 hours long, but we did really well on time too.
Yeah.
And like I mentioned earlier, all of these will be on YouTube. So, hi YouTube.
How you doing?
Yeah, we would love to know your drag racing predictions as well. So, leave us a comment, tweet me, Instagram, whatevs. Send video submissions.
Yes.
And we want to know why. Even if it's just like, I don't know, his dragster's orange.
I like that.
Like, cool.
I agree.
Yeah.
Orange is my favorite.
It doesn't
color.
have to be a whole big thing. Like, Emu picks my color.
I do be doing that sometimes. And you know what? It didn't fail me last. So
It didn't.
I can't be mad about it.
No, you can't fault it. It's a good system.
Fails me moving forward.
So yeah, I think I don't know. I think what we're gonna do is halfway through the countdown. So after Illinois, after Worldwide Technology Raceway, NHRA Midwest Nationals, I think after that we will do a recap of the first 3 races because at that point we're just kind of be freewheeling with our content and doing whatever. Which actually, if you guys have any suggestions for what we could do in the off season, let us know, because I do have some ideas and some potential interviews with some peoples in the works, some special guests.
Yes.
But yeah, let us know what you want to see in the off season. We are always open to ideas. But yeah, halfway through, we're going to do just like a breakdown of the first 3 races and what points are looking like, which I think will be good. And then obviously at the end of the year, like we're going to do with the other ones, we're going to just come back and see what happened, see how right or wrong we were. And I will be doing race reports after every race over on Shifting Lanes. That is like one of my main things. And yeah, I think, oh, actually, you've seen a lot of drag racing this year, Emu. Thoughts?
They also go fast. There do be fire.
Sometimes.
There was that insane moment in Brainerd that you showed me.
I did. That was an off-stream moment I showed her.
Yes.
Yeah, I do be sending her videos being like, look at the crazy shit that's happening.
And overall, one of my favorites because women in STEM.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
I always have, I mean, I say this all the time, but drag racing is the most inclusive motorsport in the world, and it always has been. Back to the 60s when women weren't really allowed to do anything, and they weren't like, hey, come join this. Drag racing was always very accepting. Like, I have a funny car book on my shelf somewhere, and it talks about like the early days and like people like Shirley Shahan, and I'm actually Facebook friends with her. She's Shahan Bridges now since she's been married, and she is the sweetest woman. Like, we don't even really know each other, but she always writes like nice things on my photos, and she always wishes me a happy birthday, and like she's just the sweetest lady. I don't know if she would ever, if she does like interviews or press anymore, but I think it could be really cool to have her on the show.
Yeah.
Just because I don't, it's one of those things where it's like, I don't know if a lot of people know about that side of it, like the history.
Right.
And I mean, obviously, like drag racing fans most likely do, but like a lot of people, when they think about like women in drag racing, they think of like Shirley Muldowney and kind of from then forward. But there was a lot of like the older ones, like Shirley, that were badass and they were like the beginning of it. So, oh my God, that wasn't even words. It was just noise. It was like someone stepped on a cat. Oh my God, I'm so sorry. I'm gonna go not talk after this.
Yeah, that's probably a good idea.
I'm just gonna drink some tea and like noises. But yeah. So I don't even know. Yeah, lots of things potentially going on. I think it's been really fun to see how this has been unfolding. Like, it's always fun every year, but it's been more fun for me this year, like doing the show and like bringing you into my world and like hearing your opinions, because I don't often spend a lot of time with people who aren't like in it somehow.
True. Right.
So this is like the most fun.
I give the spicy input.
You do. And I'm here for it. And it's probably a really good thing that we don't often cover F1 for those reasons.
Yeah.
Yeah, we don't need that hate from the F1 community. we probably have some unpopular opinions.
True. Red Bull hates us. We already know.
Yeah, I mean, it tastes like gasoline, so they're not going to give us a sponsorship. Like, come on.
It be tasting like battery acid. It's not the best.
It's not good.
There are better energy drinks out there.
But yeah, I think that's going to wrap it up for this one. I think, like I said, 3 races in, so beginning of October is when you will see us covering drag racing again. Ooh. But we will be back with IndyCar stuff like next week.
Yep.
Yeah. So, yeah, thanks for watching. We appreciate each and every one of you. And second shout out again to our new followers.
Yes, hello, welcome.
And to any future followers.
Also, hello and welcome.
It's like, hello, welcome, and I'm sorry. And yeah, I think that's going to wrap it up. So we will see you next time. Bye, guys.
Bye.